talk about the Panthers. Like, Week 7 recap. Let's go.
Needs to make up 2 scores. Nothing open for Rodgers. Rolling, throwing, end zone. What a catch! Did he haul it in? What a play by Aaron Jones!
Matt Ryan to the bench and Sam Ehlinger to the starting lineup. It's a grade 2 shoulder separation for 37-year-old Matt Ryan.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Just got it, touchdown, just like that, knifes his way in for 2.
Trying to keep him from the big plays.
It's Bucs again. Oh, look at him take it. And he's going deep, and he's got his receiver. What a catch! All-Pro Justin Tucker, 35-yarder, perfect, and it's 7-3. Fake to Chubb. Blocked by Conklin, going deep, and he's got him! Amari Cooper out of bounds.
Bring them both off the right side.
Cade York on a 41-yarder to extend the lead, and does. And it's 10-6. 3rd and 11. Here comes Myles Garrett spinning, hitting. There's the throw, and it's caught. There's Bateman spinning. Look at the catch again. Edwards in the backfield, record the block. Here he goes for 6. Hunt in the backfield. Hunt will release. Brissett. Oh, knocked away. That's a fumble. Campbell knocked it away. Recovered by Elway. Edwards. Ricard will lead the way. Touchdown. Side to the far at about 8 miles an hour. Got it. It's and Andrews has it. Pitches out to Lamar. Good block by Hill. Did you see the block by Hill? Hard field goal, Tucker. It is perfect.
Pick up the yardage that he did. Excellent effort by Hunt.
2nd down goal. Blocked by Posek, and a touchdown for Kareem Hunt.
And tie things up.
3rd time on this drive. 3rd and 1. Here comes Jackson. Will take it himself. Run by Hill. Dancing in there. Gets by Thomas. Cuts back. Fumble the ball. Fumble the ball. Cleveland has got it. Get around Wills, but he's going deep, and he's got him. Peoples Jones has got the ball. For the tie. No. It's Brissett. And he goes down the middle, and it's caught by Peoples Jones and knocked away on the play. And a fumble, and Geno Stone will close the door.
And in this one, the Ravens escaped the Browns 23-21. Not a great win. 23-20 win for the Ravens. But yeah, obviously this is not a great win for the Ravens, but they still found out a way to win. They go to 4-3. Browns 4-2-5. Of course, Coker said pretty efficient game. 22 of 27, 258. Yardage-wise, pretty darn good game if you ask me. He was really good. Couldn't ask for much more. He had a lot of big plays. He played really well. Running game, as expected, just didn't run it really enough. But obviously, Kareem had a touchdown. Same thing with Nick Chubb. He got 5 carries, didn't really do much. Amari Cooper again caught that bomb, had a couple big catches there as well. David Njoku was over for 61, definitely their best receiver. Donovan Jones, arguably his best game of the season, 6 for 71. David Bell had 1 catch. That was really it. Defensively, Jacob Phillips had 7 tackles. Didn't get to watch a lot of him. JOK didn't play very well, but he did have 5 tackles. Sione Takitaki had 4 tackles. Same thing with Grant Delpit. Overall, his defense actually played pretty well. Deion Jones, he didn't actually play super bad in his first game of the season. I think I liked how he played. Martin Emerson had a nice sack, and obviously Myles Garrett had 1 as well. Tavon Bryan had a sack. Jimmy Van Klein, I think, actually was the biggest impact player in the team, even though he didn't have a sack. But yeah, Cade York did have missed a kick as well on that block. It was like a 61-yard kick, though. So, Lamar, 9-16, 120, didn't really throw the ball out. It was really just a ground-and-pound game. It worked out pretty well. They ran the ball really well. Kendon Drake should not have gotten 11 carries, but he just wasn't hitting the holes right. I'll just say it is that. Gus Edwards wasn't the most efficient, but pretty good game by him. Shot Pittman 4 for 42. None of the receivers did a lot because, again, they threw the ball 16 times. Patrick Reed, 7 tackles, 4 and a sack. I think he actually this is probably his best game of the season. He's really good in coverage as well. Geno Stone had 7 tackles. He's definitely been their best, actually probably their best guy in the secondary so far this season. Marlon Humphrey continues to struggle, but he did have 3 tackles. Chuck Clark had 6 tackles. He's Chuck Clark. Calais Campbell had a sack. Kyle Hamilton had his first sack of his career. Just Newsom had 2 sacks off the edge. He was a menace. It's really all up for this defense. I don't think they play that well. For the stats, obviously, the Browns got more yardage. They played better. But obviously, the rushing yards went to the Ravens. They were just simply more physical up front. They were better. When it comes to third down efficiency, they were better as well. I'm honestly, in terms of just overall, fundamental football part of this game, I think the Ravens were better. The Browns definitely had more big plays and they were a lot more flashy and moved the ball better. But the Ravens they were definitely better, dominant up front. And obviously, it was really even with first downs, though. But they obviously had 34 minutes possession and they only had 1 fumble. Wasn't even a good fumble either. So that's what I got there. Obviously, it's really even game other than that. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades for both teams. And for this Browns offense, they said run the ball 30-plus times. I don't think they got that 60% of the time in the fourth. Yeah, they did run the ball a lot in the fourth. Jacoby Brissett needs to show up on third down. 1-plus touchdown, 0 turnovers, 0 sacks, 100-plus yards. Simply, this offense wasn't very good in the red zone, and as well, they fumbled it twice as well. Honestly, offensively, I'll actually give them a plus. I think they actually played pretty well. Really no complaints, but obviously in the red zone, they weren't great. I don't actually think they played that bad. But for this Browns defense, contain Lamar, they did that really well. Used bluffs and bits patches to keep Lamar guessing as well. Defensively, they did a good job as well, but I have to give them an underscore because, again, Gus Edwards just absolutely blew him up in the fourth quarter. You can't have that happen. I got to admit, they did limit big plays, but again, you can't give up some of those downs they get. But I don't think they played bad whatsoever. They played just about fine. Let's get to the Ravens. And for Baltimore, I said if Lamar can just show up in the fourth, they'll win. He did show up pretty much. I think so. I don't think they played that great, honestly, but I'll give them a plus because, again, they won and they didn't blow it. Defensively, though, continues to gap control and good penetration by the defensive line. Yeah, I think it was just tackling. Patrick Queen needs to continue the high-efficiency tackling. Yeah, pretty much. And absolutely no PI penalties unless a corner gets burned over the top. Yeah, they didn't actually get burned. And, Patrick Queen was actually pretty efficient. Defensively, I'll actually give them a plus. I think they played well, but again, the big plays were not good. This secondary it just isn't good. And obviously, they stopped the run pretty well, but it's a little worrisome there. But I think the Rams played a pretty solid game, not great, but I think the Browns definitely played a lot better than I expected them to. But that's what I have for this one. Let's get to the next one. This one was an absolute freaking disaster. I'll just say it as that.
Mike Vrabel and the Titans try to make it 5 in a row against Frank Reich's Colts. Target, but Hilliard has been pretty reliable. Could have had that one, and now Randy Bullock hits from 27 yards. Play number 9 on this drive. 2nd and 13. Quick pass is intercepted. Picked off by Amani, hooked up by Andrew Adams, and he's going to go the distance. Pick 6 for Adams. Back to Derrick Henry. He's got some room this time. Henry into Colts territory and tripped up. Matchup right down here. Ryan has time. Now looking. Pittman. Oh, he's got it. 2nd and goal. Ryan, 3-step drop. Looks left, throws left. Campbell, touchdown. Away. And Bullock is good. 50-yard attempt for McLaughlin. He's 3 out of 4 from 50 yards and longer this year. And that one is good. Trying to escape, throws on the run, and it's held on to Hooper Houdini. A 2-score game with 4:52 to go. Bullock's kick on the way, looks good, and it is good. Ryan looking for Pittman, he's got him. There's the first down. Ball comes out, it's loose. About 1:15 on the clock. That's without getting a first down. As Henry is still going.
All right, just forget about the game for 1 second. If you didn't know, yeah, Matt Ryan. Not only does he have a grade 2 shoulder separation, I don't even know what that is. It's not good, but he's getting benched for the rest of the season. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get another start by the end of the season, just being completely honest with you. This is actually a desperation move because I think Frank Reich is on the hot seat, and he's desperate, and he thinks Matt Ryan's not the answer because they have to win games. But 3-3-1, I don't actually think they're that they're really just not that bad. But obviously, they're not winning enough games. That's why they benched him. But yeah, Matt Ryan, he got benched. Sam Ehlinger would be their starter. Matt Ryan will, I guess, be the backup, but Nick Foles is their number 2. But yeah, Matt Ryan got benched. That's just not good. He was not great, though. 32-44, 243, and touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was awful. Yeah, he was. A lot of the completions were checkdowns, and again, he just doesn't have the arm strength anymore. He's one of the worst arms in the NFL. He just does, because again, he's old. But I still think his processing ability is still really good. But again, he just can't make any throws. You just can't. But 2 bad interceptions, of course, that pick 6 probably cost them the game. Titans offense couldn't do crap in the red zone. They just couldn't. Of course, that's coming on to Ryan Tannehill. But they win their 4th in a row. They sweep the Colts. They probably should win this division by now. So they guarantee. I won't say guarantee lock but they won 4 in a row. 9-10 win for them. Colts fall to 3-3-1. They've been the most inconsistent team in the NFL so far. Jonathan Taylor 10 for 58. Didn't get enough carries, but again, I'm okay with it as long as he doesn't die. Yeah, he looks really good. Paris Campbell 10 for 70 touchdown again. Like a lot of those were just screens. Like that's what Matthew Ryan was throwing today. Just so you know. Michael Pittman basically the same thing. He had one incredible catch though. I don't think it was as good as a top play. Yeah, you could have said it. It was a great catch though. It was on the highlights as well. Alec Pierce didn't get enough touches. Just simple as that. I actually think Naheem Hines was pretty good, but Jonathan Taylor, just stopped trying to throw the ball to him. Like they shut him down in the receiving game. They just didn't let him get much. Grover Stewart 7 tackles. I think he played pretty well. Bobby Okereke got his job done, but again, Tyler Franklin was really not good. EJ Speed bailed him out a lot. Those guys were the 3 starting linebackers. Kenny Moore, nice sack on the first play of the game. Yannick Ngakoue had a sack off the edge. Defensively, they didn't really play that bad again. They played pretty well. Ryan Tannehill, if he's going to throw like that, they're going to win games, I guess. So 13 of 21, 32. Derrick Henry got 30 carries, and he did what he should have with it. Didn't have any big runs, but that's what you expect when he plays the Colts. Receiving wise, Austin Hooper, pretty inconsistent, but the 2 tight ends Cody Hollister and Austin Hooper had pretty big games. Defensively, Amani Hooker was an absolute monster. Of course, Andrew Adams had the pick 6. David Long had a really nice interception. Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, Bud Dupree, their 3 best pass rushers all had sacks. Without, of course, Harold Landry for the rest of the season. But, what it's called? Kevin Byard, he didn't have to do much at all. I'm surprised. He just sat, cushioned. Christian Fulton could play press a lot. They really could just hunker down on that, offense of the Colts because again their defensive line was really good. Yardage wise, I actually think it was pretty even. Obviously, passing yards went to the Colts because they threw it a lot more. But overall, the Titans just played a better freaking football game today. Yesterday, that's all I got for this one. They didn't do a lot offensively. They made a couple mistakes. The receivers really just weren't getting open. But just being completely simple there, they just played a better football game. That's what I have for this one. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades. And for this Colts offense, run the ball with the same intensity as last week. Kind of just didn't do enough. O-line has to use decisive zone blocking to give Matt Ryan time. The offensive line, I don't even know what the heck it was. It was an absolute mess. 5 starters, Alec Pierce, you didn't get the ball enough. Defensively, offensively, I'm giving 3 minuses. They were actually, I actually give them 5 because they looked awful. The reason I'm not giving them 7 or 10 is because they weren't actually offensively challenged, but again, it was an absolute mess offensively for the Colts yesterday. Colts defense though, blitz on 3rd down, they did. It worked out pretty well. And no big runs, a couple big runs, but honestly, defensively, they got the job done. I'll actually give them a plus. 19 points, 4 field goals. They actually only get 4 field goals. I actually give them 3 pluses. They played really well without Shaquille Leonard, not even joking. But obviously, they could have done better against Derrick Henry, but again, they did their job. Let's get to the Titans. And for this Titans offense, Derrick had over 100 yards, but not 4.9 yards per carry. And their receivers just flat out, again, were not getting open. That's a little concerning. But obviously, I think this offense played okay. They kind of sucked, no joke. But the fact they were able to run the ball is, nice. But again, it was not great. Titans defense, tighten up in the red zone with Danico Autry. Needs to play even techniques with short shot moves on Quentin Nelson. He torched them. Quentin Nelson got absolutely torched against Danico Autry. He dogged them. And the edge rushers should play to the outside of the farthest blocker as Matt Ryan won't break anything. Yeah, they did that well. Matt Ryan just played terrible. Defensively, I think they actually played well, give them 3 pluses. But again, they played pretty well. That's what I got there. I'll actually give them 5. They had pick 6 because they probably would have lost this game if they didn't have that. But yeah, really good defensive game by the Titans. The Colts offense was an absolute mess. Other side of the ball, it was kind of meh. That's all I got for this one. Let's get right to the next one. And dang Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals back home after a win last week in New Orleans. Good defense. Now Burrow off the play fake. He's going to let one fly. Oh, he's got him wide open. And strolling in for the touchdown is Tyler Boyd. On this play, Burrow is able to extend it and find Mixon out of the back. Mixon gets another opportunity. Stumbles, but enough momentum to fall forward. Burrow loads up again, completes again. Tyler Boyd, who had the 60-yard touchdown earlier. Off to a great start here as we begin the second quarter. Burrow on a 1st and 10, going to loft it down the sideline. Chase has it, and he's in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Getting another opportunity to start. His first time as a full-time starter since 2019. And here he keeps it, and look at that elusiveness. High formation, Algier over the top and in. Have a minute, working the sideline, but then Chase comes back inside, and he's gone. Number 4 pick, and Mariota is going to go deep, and he's got the connection all the way into the end zone. Goes Jameer Byrd, hit Atlanta within 11. And from 43 yards out, Koo connects. No, instead, how about a sneak from Joe Burrow?
No signal yet.
Looked like he was in. Wait for it.
Certainly
Yes.
did.
And in Cincinnati, boy, the Bengals just lit the doors off the Falcons. 35-17 win for them. I don't know. The Bengals only scored a touchdown in the second half. It was really uneventful in the second half. Like, it was really just a Bengals defense sitting back and making the Falcons throw it. But yeah, second quarter was absolutely wild. First quarter, the Bengals dominated. But yeah, Marcus Mariota 8 of 13, 124 touchdown. I'd say about half the yards, more like. Let's say like 75% of the yardage came down that touchdown to Jameer Byrd. He had one catch, 75 yards touchdown. Good for explosiveness, but like they couldn't really run the ball. Like offensively, they really sucked other than that touchdown. No joke. But obviously, they can't keep up with the Bengals when they're having a huge day. I mean, their secondary got absolutely torched. It didn't help that their one of the best corners, if not the best corner in the NFL, got hurt. The reason they had 3 sacks was partly garbage time and also the fact that the Bengals threw the ball like 90 times. So. That helps as well. But yeah, receiving wise, no one did crap. They tried to get the ball. Kyle Pitts and Drake London did not work out well. I mean, we had one good driver running the ball. That was really it. Offensively, they just could not keep up. I'll put it that way. They got outpaced. Joe Burrow is money. 34-42, 41 and 3 touchdowns. He plays like this every week. They're gonna go undefeated. They did not run the ball particularly well, but again, particularly well. But yeah, Joe Mixon had a touchdown. Same thing with Joe Burrow on the ground. Receiving wise, Tyler Boyd for 155. Of course, with that bomb touchdown, 60-something yards. Jamar Chase had 2 crazy touchdowns, 8 for 132 touchdowns. Back to his old self. Keegan's really good, 5 for 193. They had like almost 300 receivers. They had a really good game. Again, Davis was pretty good. I don't think he played super well, but again, he was pretty good. Zach Carter played awesome. Really, the only problem I had was Jesse Bates getting burned on that one play. And same thing with it wasn't Von Bell because he was playing up. But I think it might have been Chidobe Awuzie or Eli Apple. One of their corners got absolutely toasted. Is he number 24? No, he's not. I think, what is it called? Eli Apple, if he's on here. He's not. Yeah, Eli Apple got his absolute butt kicked, I think. And yeah, Jesse Bates, blue coverage there as well. But they had like 2 sacks. Pretty good defensively. Stats-wise, obviously the Bengals, they had 537 yards. Like, that's crazy. Explosiveness was really the only difference in this game, and obviously the Bengals absolutely torched the Falcons. That's what I got for this one. Let's get right to the keys to the game grades, though. And for this Bengals offense, I mean, what the heck? Why did I do this? Yeah, they were home. I just screwed that up. Okay. Okay, we're just going to put that there. Where's this? Delete that. Okay, Falcons offense just run the ball like last week. Yeah, it didn't work out like that, though, because their defense sucked. I'll give them a minus. I just think they got outpaced. I mean, I don't think it was like a credit to their offense, but like they got absolutely they could not keep up. I don't think it was super bad though, because again they had that 75-yard touchdown. That's like good, I guess. But again, they got outpaced. Falcons defense take advantage of. They were awful. I mean, I'll give them 5 minuses because it wasn't like they were giving up everything. But dang, they got absolutely torched. That's all I got for the Falcons. Let's get to the Bengals. And for Cincy, Bengals offense run the ball early to limit the stunts of the Falcons like to run. They didn't. I guess they did that. I really don't know. Have Joe Burrow step up by having the guards double team Grady Jarrett, and giving the edge rushers the ability to come off the edge, giving Joe the room to step up and throw downfield. Yeah, they did that like every single play. No, I'm joking. I didn't really pay attention much to that. I'm being completely honest with you. I just like watched the pretty deep balls. No, but actually, yeah, they were able to do that. I don't know, maybe it was actually the offensive lineman just flat out blocked most of the game. I mean, some of that strategy actually worked, but in the Falcons' favor, because again, the offensive lineman just got flat out beat. But Bengals offense, I'll give them 5 pluses. I'm not gonna give them yeah, if they ran the ball better, I probably would have given 7 or I wouldn't give them 10. You have to score like 55 points and actually explode. But they had a really good offensive day. Bengals defense contained Mariota on any zone read somewhat, press Drake London, yep, and have double Kyle Pitts, yep, obviously. I think their defense, I'll just give them actually a plus. They did their job, I guess. I mean, their offense was scoring at will. So that's what I got there. Let's get to the next game. And this one was, again, an absolute crazy one.
The Giants hit Florida. Jacksonville, Florida is the opening drive. Giants Second down, going deep. Daniel Jones. Did he catch it? Darius Slayton has a giant touchdown. Officially, Dan Arnold trying to make it official. And Lawrence hands to Etienne, and there he goes. That's a Jags touchdown. Etienne, Marvin Jones, handoff into the end zone for 2. And you're 9 out of 10 in the field goal department. And nails that yards away. The kick is up and through. Open is Kirk. Christian Kirk with a first down to the 30. Here's a flat. The end with a first down. Rolls out of the end zone, and the Giants are on it.
An opportunity to get this field goal.
Graham Gano from 33 to Etienne. He turns a corner, and he's loose. Travis Etienne.
It's right now orchestrating this offense.
He'll leap, reach the ball across, and Trevor Lawrence has a Jags touchdown for a 5-point advantage. And that's not good. Jones on 4th down. Incomplete.
They're lined up in there.
Lawrence keeps his push from the behind, and that may have been enough to get him forward, although there's no signal yet.
I think they stopped him.
Jones gets away with a lot of room. A first down, and still going to the 40 of Jacksonville. Barkley dancing around, he made room, and Barkley down to the 10. Daniel Jones keeps, and nothing yet. Somehow he got it through. Lawrence's throw is caught. Marvin, the throw at the goal line. Caught by Christian Kirk. But there's no more time. And the Giants defense to the last yard or 2 holds on.
The Giants are somehow 6-1. I really don't know how, but yeah, they're 6-1, and I'll put it this way: they got Seattle next week. That should be a really good game. I don't know if the Giants will win that. Like, I'm gonna keep doubting them, but yeah, they're 6-1. They beat the Jaguars 23-17. They held on. It was a really good game. Jaguars, you're probably the best 2-5 team in the NFL. I'll give you that. You've lost 4 in a row though. That's just not great. Daniel Jones, 19 of 32, 2 and a touchdown. Regardless of like the statistics, he got it done. He was really good. Saquon, really efficient. I don't think he played well to start off the game, but he really got it going after that. Daniel Jones, 11 for 107, touchdown. For one of the most mobile quarterbacks somehow in the NFL, he's looking pretty good. And yeah, Daniel Jones is not going to be a good. He's not a very good quarterback, but again, when he doesn't turn over the football, they're probably going to win games. Darius Slayton, 358 touchdown, of course, a great, crazy touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson was definitely their best receiver, though. Defensively, Adoree Jackson was an absolutely elite. Fabian Moreau, yeah, a couple bad pass interferences. Julian Love was much better, but came through in the goal line. David McKinney, probably one of the best. He's emerging with one of the better safeties in the NFL. Not the best, just one of the better ones. Kayvon Thibodeau got a ton of pressure. I'll give him that. He didn't have a sack, but he got a lot of pressure. Oh, yeah, this defense and this offense played pretty well. Jags, I mean, big plays for the whole offense. This 22, 43, 310 for and a rushing touchdown for Trevor Lawrence tells you everything. Travis Etienne, big game overall. He had, like, what was it? Yeah, those are runs. 14 for 114 and a touchdown. Yeah, he had a big game. Zay Jones had a nice run as well. Receiving wise, I mean, Christian Kirk was an absolute monster. Evan Ingram, Marvin Jones, a couple big plays. I mean, Zay Jones had probably the most important plays, but wasn't, like, the best. Darnold had a big catch as well, downfield. Foyce Olukong, 7 tackles, 5 assists. He was really good. Andre Cisco didn't play particularly well, but I don't think he played well. Darius Williams wasn't great in the slot. Tyson Campbell could have been better. Trayvon Walker, yeah, he had a sack. That's all I know from him. Didn't get to watch much of him. When it comes to the statistics, yeah, both teams got a lot of yards. It was really just a good game. But obviously, the Giants had 336 rushing yards. They're running the ball really well right now. I mean, it was just a really freaking even game. Obviously, the Giants had the ball longer. That helped a lot. But I just think it was a really overall well-played game. Good job for two teams that we, coming into the year, thought were two of the worst teams in the NFL. Didn't play like that on Sunday, though. Let's get right to the keys to the game grades, though. And for the Giants offense, run the ball 15 plus times for Saquon. They definitely got that done. Daniel Jones has to be able to hit receivers downfield in off-play action and in shotgun. Yep, the O-line has to be able to set the edge. as well as finessing the defensive line of the Jaguars by showing pass pro looks, and then pounding them downhill. Offensively, I'll give them actually probably 3 pluses. They were not that, like, they didn't look amazing. It was definitely not their best game of the season, but they played really well. Again, I didn't really see much issue. Obviously, the run blocking wasn't great. Losing Ben Bredesen and Evan Neal to knee injuries, which I probably should check on right now. Did he tear his ACL? I don't care about his PFF right now. Okay, so Daniel Bellinger is injured. Yeah, Evan Neal, thank God, was an MCL. He'll be out for a while. Thank gosh, that's big. Ben Bredesen, yeah, he'll miss times too. So basically, 3 of their best blockers, run blockers at least, are out. That's bad, but from losing those guys, I think they played pretty well. But yeah, they're gonna have to do a lot now. They got to trade for like Taylor Moan or something. Giants defense, absolutely no big runs. They can't give up. They didn't. I said don't give up any big runs. They gave up big runs. Tate Crowder and Jalen Smith need to be conservative with the. They were not conservative. They crashed gas. It worked sometimes. It didn't work other times. A little concerning. I'll give them an underscore though. I actually don't think they played very well. They're lucky the way it played out. But again, the Giants defense, if they can just be better in terms of like just better in the run game overall, I think they can definitely win more games. But I don't think this defense. They came through at the end, but I just. I actually give them a plus because again they came through at the end, but they held. But really, I don't think this Giants defense like did much, but they came through at the end, so I'll go a plus. Let's get to the Jags. And for this Jags offense, run counters to death. You have pitches to the running backs until the Giants prove they can consistently set the edge. Just did not happen. Offensively, I'll have to give them an underscore though because they couldn't convert at the end, and obviously Trevor was not super accurate. Jags defense 5+ sacks. They did not get that win. First down on a landslide. Actually, I'll give this give them a plus defensively. I actually think they're I actually give them 2 pluses. Now I think about it, the Jags actually played a pretty good game, but again, just couldn't come to at the end. And obviously, the Jags defense played pretty well overall. They didn't give up many big plays at all, and yeah, they could have been better in the run game, but it's the Giants. The Giants run the ball really well. And okay, that's it for that crazy game. Let's get into another crazy game. Let's go Panthers!
Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in Charlotte, getting set to take on their division rivals, the Carolina Panthers.
Plus yards on defense.
From the 36-yard line, Brady fires downfield, and the pass is bobbled and dropped. Slot to the left, Brady firing downfield, looking for Evans. Pass incomplete. 3 catches, and now Brady under pressure, and he's brought down. Back at the 27-yard line. But Walker looking to make it 11. End zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Down at 2. Brady to the outside, and a diving attempt. On the toss, it's Fournette. Ooh, I don't think he got there. Neither do the Panthers. Foreman found a hole. First down and more. Across midfield, still going. Finally, on the 17, it's Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard to the end zone. Touchdown. The 7-yard attempt. Ryan Suckup. His kick is good. Walker fires, caught, touchdown. Brady throws, knocked down, nearly picked off.
On him.
With their first win under interim head coach and Charlotte native Steve Wilkes.
The Bucs suck. They're not 3-4. I mean, they could probably still make the playoffs. Like, I wouldn't be surprised there. But they got their absolute butts kicked by the Panthers. Good for you, Panthers. You snapped, what was it, 3-game losing streak? They're now 2-5, 21-3, pounding over the Bucs. Tom Brady actually was pretty good, 32 of 49, 290. But they didn't run the ball really at all well. Rashad White probably should have got more carries. Mike Evans dropped a touchdown out carry, had 9 catches for 96 yards. It probably would have won game if that didn't happen. Chris Godwin was not great. Offensively, they really just laid a duck. They sucked in the red zone. The receivers couldn't get open. Tom just didn't really hit them. And overall, you got to be able to run the ball better than they did. They haven't been able to run the ball really well at all. They just do it for, like, doing it. Defensively, they were absolutely atrocious. Their run defense was awful. I mean, awful. They're playing an offense that's absolutely like just not great, and they suck. Vita Vea, good you had a sack, but like, I don't even think Devin White actually played that bad for a guy you actually expect to like be like the cause of it. I mean, a lot of Levante David had one of his worst games of the season. Yeah, he had 5 tackles. The secondary was just not physical enough. Keanu Neal, for a guy who they really relied on, just stunk. Defensive line got defensive line got absolutely no penetration. Joe Tryon was an absolute bum. Logan Hull was disappointing. Their defense sucked. Panthers, Phil Walker's 3-1 now as a starter. Good for him. 16 of 22, 177, 2 touchdowns got them. They ran the ball down their throats. Like, this is just not what you expect from a Tampa defense that has had one of the best run defenses in like the past 4 years. They haven't played like that this year though. DJ Moore, best game of the season, 7 for 69. Great touchdown. Tommy Tremble, of course, had a big one as well. Other than that, Terrace Marshall had a couple of big catches. They got it done on the ground. Defensively, Dante Jackson was like they're literally the run enforcer. It was pretty funny. Brian Burns had a sack. Jason Henderson was absolutely god awful, but you kind of got away with it. Frankie Lavu really bailed out some of the defensive linemen. Brian Burns had a crazy sack. Defensively, they really got it done. Obviously, they get 3 points. Total yards. The Panthers won that. They actually didn't win time possession, but again, they were just better. When it came down to like the hunkering down part, they were so much better. Tampa was 1 for 3 on 4th down, 2 for 12 on first down. On 3rd down, obviously you can't compare it to the Panthers because they're obviously a much better offense, but they suck right now. If you're a Bucs fan, you got to be worried. I wouldn't say you're panic mode quite yet because you're 3-4, not like 3-7, but they're not good right now. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades. For Tampa, Bucs offense run the ball less than 25 times because it just isn't going to work out well. They tried. I actually didn't think of that. Take shots to Mike Evans 5 times. Yeah, he didn't catch him though. And after Tom used Chris Godwin as an intermediate option. They didn't get that done. Offensively, I'm giving them 5 minuses. The reason I'm not giving them 7 or 10 is because they actually were able to move the football. I know how crazy that sounds, but yeah. And I actually think this offense, they weren't I should give them 7. They scored 3 points, but they wasn't really turnovers, but they I got them 7 because they were god awful. Bucs defense, you won't suck. They did suck. 7. No, I'll give them 5 because again, they actually kind of limited them in the receiving game, but they were awful. Oh my god. I'll give them 7 minuses because the Bucs played that bad. Time for the Panthers. Okay, offensively, Tempo started DJ Moore. They got him the ball as much as they could. 5 pluses. They ran the ball really well. 5 pluses. Panthers defense, forced special teams and defense touchdown. I don't think they got that. 5 plus sacks. This defense, not that. Under 25 minutes special time. I don't think they got that. But again, defensively, they gave 3 points. Great for them. 7 pluses. Not 10 because again, they didn't force pick 6 or anything. But they played an incredible game. Best game in a while for them. And yeah. Let's get to the first game of this doubleheader, and how about them Commanders?
With quarterback Carson Wentz injured, head coach Ron Rivera yet again turns to Taylor Heineke. Rodgers, inside throw to Aaron Jones, spins his way in for the touchdown. From way to the 20, Rodgers muffed it. Washington, they have it, and they do. Missed his first field goal of the season last week. He'll have a chip shot from 22 to get Washington on the board. Heineke on 3rd down. 4-man rush. Heineke hit as he throws. It is ripped away by Devondre Campbell. And he's got plenty of green grass in front of him. Devondre Campbell, pick 6, Green Bay. Heineke to the end zone. He's got a man in Gibson. He's in for the touchdown. So slide from 47. Off the upright. Heineke sets up, looking for Terry McLaurin against Alexander. It is caught! Touchdown! Commanders take the lead. Oof, close. But he bangs it through. 7. Quick throw towards the sticks. That ball pops out loose. It's incomplete. From 19, Sly bangs it right through. Rodgers rolling, throwing, end zone. What a catch! Did he hold it in? What a play by Aaron Jones! Play of the game right now. Heineke hit as he throws, launches. It is caught. Rodgers needs to get rid of it. That bounces and it's picked up by a lineman in Zach Tom.
Well, I'll put it this way. the Commanders with Taylor Heineke flat out find ways to win games. Obviously against the best teams in the NFL, they're going to get after their absolute butt kicked. But I think he's a top 5 backup, maybe top 10, top 5 backup. He's a really good quarterback, though, from what we saw in this one. Obviously, they lost in Green Bay last year 24-10. They got it done this time, though. 23-21 win. Basically, after, like, the first drive of the Packers and through almost the whole fourth quarter, they were the better team. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, the statistics don't look bad, but he was missing guys left and right. They didn't run the ball well. They sucked offensively. Sammy Watkins had a big catch. That was literally it. I mean, I'm good for Robert Tonyan, but, I mean, this offense was absolutely horrible. Aaron Rodgers they did not throw the ball downfield enough. I mean, it's just RPO, check down. That just doesn't work anymore. I mean, these receivers got to get downfield. I don't think it's just, like, they can't get open. It's also the fact they're just not getting the ball downfield as well. Aaron Rodgers wants to throw it. I don't know what the heck's up with that. They got to get the ball downfield more. This run game's got to figure it out. I think it's the zone run blocking. It just isn't working. They probably got it on man-to-man. Obviously, they don't have the personnel for it, but they got to figure out the run game. Their bye week isn't like for 5 weeks or like 7 weeks, so they got to figure it out quick. Devontae Campbell 7 tackles and an interception. He had a pick 6, like he was a beast. Quay Walker 5 tackles, 8 assists. He was good. Defensively, they actually didn't play that bad. Obviously, Jags had his worst game of his career, but other than that, like, pretty good. Kingsley Eningavor had a sack, good for him. I mean, they didn't kick it as well. We go to the Commanders. Taylor Heineke, 20-33, 201 touchdown, and 2 touchdowns, interception. Pick 6, I thought that was probably it, but he rebounded really well. They didn't run the ball well because they can't run the ball. James Robinson, I mean, yeah, Antonio Gibson 10 carries for 59 yards, but he had, like, one big run, and he was really fresh. I mean, I like that he had this type of game, but, like, Brian Robinson got absolutely stuffed. Terry McLaurin, great game, 7-5 for 73, touchdown. He's going up against Jair Alexander left and right. He torched him on that one touchdown, but other than that, he played pretty well. Curtis Samuel, 5 for 58, 3 Armani Riders. I didn't know he was on this team anymore. He got revenge on the Packers. Oh, yeah, and Antonio Gibson had a receiving touchdown as well. Cole Holcomb, Cameron Curl, both pretty good. Defensively, they just made tackles. That's really all I gotta say. They're great tackling. For the statistics, I mean, yeah, the yards went to the Commanders. They were just straight up better. They had a lot more rushing yards, dominated them in physicality. They had 37 minutes possession time. Packers didn't have the ball much in this game, frankly. That's what I got there. And overall, yeah, Commanders just played a flat-out better game. Let's get right to the keys to the game grades. If this Packers offense run the ball with the running backs 35%, it's not even close, and have Aaron throw to Sammy Watkins or anyone downfield, they didn't do that enough. Offensively, 3 minuses. It's an absolute mess. Packers defense, bust up the backs. Hit them in the backfield. Yup. Getting consistent pressure, like last week when facing passing downs on Taylor Heineke. He didn't get that done. Couple bad big plays. They didn't have a pick 6 though, so I will give them an underscore, but I definitely think they could have been a lot better against Taylor Heineke. They were on the field way too much as well. I'll give them that. They got to get off the field on 3rd down. But overall, I don't think they played very bad. I'll give them an underscore. Let's get to the Commanders. And for the Commanders' offense, you have to be able to run the ball for over 5.5 yards per carry for the first down. Actually, I think the first down running was actually pretty good. 5 was targets. Terry McLaurin targets, 20-plus yards downfield. Maybe not that, but he was definitely downfield. And jet motions with Curtis Samuel. Yeah, they did that a lot. Offensively, I got to give them their hats off. I'll give them a plus. The pick 6 was brutal. I think if they weren't facing such a bad offense and their defense didn't have a great game, they probably wouldn't have won this game, but they did play well. Commanders defense blow up the run, and get out after Aaron. They got after Aaron pretty well. I don't think this Commanders defense was, like, great, but I'll give them 3+ because they flat out shut down the Packers for most of that game. Trust me when I say this, the Packers offense was terrible, and the Commanders defense got it done. Let's get to the next game. This was just a flat out hard one to watch.
Mike McCarthy has the Cowboys at 4-2, and his quarterback returns today.
Which is second worst in NFL history.
Here's Dak in the pocket. He's slammed down. They've had 10 that have been tried out. They kick good from 40. Maher being called on from 22 yards out. Kicks it through dead center. Flag. Kick. Beauty. On first down.
They're getting to him today.
He's got Noah Brown. What a hit. And the ball comes out. Used to attend the Giants training camps. Here is Goff going for the deep ball. Oh, what an interception. That is Diggs. Fullback. It's Elliott into the end zone for the game's first touchdown. Goff rolling out. And he gets taken down.
Yeah, you got to look deep, check it down, and hope the guy can get to it.
There's a pass. It was whistling out to the 50.
concerning from
The
Detroit.
ball comes out. Oh no! Goff pass. That's intercepted. Back to Zeke. Touchdown Dallas.
Imposing their will. Brad Holmes are building. He did get the throw in for his first touchdown.
There it is, the touchdown pass.
And on the NFL on CBS, the Colts the Cowboys took care of business. They're now 5-2. They go 24-6 over the Lions, who've lost their fourth in a row coming off that bye. They haven't won since like week 2. It's been a while. Offensively, they were they stunk it up. They were actually up 6-3 at the half. Their defense had their best game, I don't even know, in a long, long time. Jared Goff, 21-26, 228, 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions. He was not great. They ran the ball really well, but I do think that, if they didn't have 6 second half turnovers, they probably would have won this game, no joke. Khalif Raymond was fantastic. Brock Wright couldn't block. T. Jackson didn't get the ball enough, in my opinion. Amon-Ra St. Brown got a concussion. Yeah, that was really the whole game. Jamal Williams, he had a really good running game, but I think he's muffed. No, that was Craig Reynolds. He was bad. He's probably going to get cut. Jeff Okudah was awesome. 12 tackles. Yeah, he played really well. He really contained guys. Deshaun Elliott had 4 tackles, 4 assists. Alex Anzalone, 4 tackles to have a sack. Aiden Hutchinson, 1.5 sacks. Best game of his career so far. The special teams actually wasn't so bad. Cowboys offense was just not good, but they were really unimpressive. But Dak 19-25, 207 touchdown. He got it done. Running the ball, yeah, they didn't really run it. Tony Pollard, yeah, he had 3 big runs, but he had some really bad decisions behind the backfield. He did not have a great game. Yeah, he had 12 for 83, though. Zeke, not very efficient, but he did have 2 touchdowns. Receiving-wise, CeeDee Lamb, pretty solid game. Noah Brown, 5 for 50. LVE, 7 tackles, 3 assists, was not great particularly, but Jerron Curtis, Anthony Barr got it done as well. They had what's called 5 sacks. Sam Williams had his best game of his career. Jordan Lewis and Trayvon Diggs both had interceptions. I thought the Trayvon Diggs was actually a hold on him, but they didn't call it. Ozo Odigizio had a big tackle in the backfield. Defensively, the Cowboys defense did what we expected, but the offense did not play that well. And Lions offense, obviously, defense got it done. They did get yardage again. They had 6 turnovers, so yeah, they had 6. Well, my bad, 5. Yeah. The Lions, they gave way too many turnovers. And obviously, they had more time possession. They didn't outgain them, but they were definitely better there. Overall, it's actually a pretty even game there. But again, the Cowboys just were so much better in the red zone. And for this Lions offense, they're going to have to score 40-plus points and rely heavily on big plays. They didn't actually get that many big plays. I have to give them 3 minuses because it was really frustrating to watch, just in my opinion. They actually were able to move the football, though, so good for them there. Lions defense under 100 yards per rushing yards allowed. They didn't get that. Pressure up the middle with Michael Braggers and William McNeil. I'll give this defense 5 pluses because they held them for most of that game. I'm not even kidding. They played so well. They couldn't hold on because they were just not great. But that's definitely the best Lions defensive performance I've seen in a really long time. Let's get to the Cowboys. And for Dallas, get the running game going early, not really, and then take shots to the sideline to CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. Offensively, they didn't really get much. Offensively, they did not get much. They really didn't get much to get. I have to give them a minus. They did not look good. I'm sorry. Any Cowboys fan, you got to watch it on film. You just did not look good. Cowboys defense, sack Jared. Yep. No debacles in tackling. Defensively, they took care of business. 3 pluses. They played really well. They did give up some yardage, though. That's a little concerning. But other than that, obviously, 3 pluses. They got the darn job done. Let's get to the next game. Jets and Broncos. The Broncos still suck.
It's week 7 in the NFL on CBS. Comes to you today from Denver, Colorado.
They're right back in this thing.
Second snap for Denzel Mims. He's in there. They go to the run game. Oh, look at the speed of Breece Hall. He's done it again. Murray trying to power in. He does. Touchdown, Denver.
On that drive, Ian, they've really established something up front against that Jets defensive line.
And McManus misses the 56-yarder. Oh, a corkscrew is no good.
Seattle, what he wanted to implement here.
First down, they handle the rush. Rip it downfield. Separation for Jerry Jeudy, and he's got big-time speed. This from 44 yards away. McManus drives it, and it's good. Zuerlein leans into it. Zuerlein knocks it through. Jacobs having a huge season, by the way, for the Raiders. Rip it, hit as he throws. Intercepted. The 33-yarder, he connects. Trying to give him a 7-point lead. Zuerlein straight through. Rifles in. End zone. Incomplete. Cortland Sutton got lost in the sauce.
Complete then in that review. That's no doubt.
This could be your ball game. Ripping downfield. Knocked away.
And yep, the Jets came on top 16-9, but they really didn't, because I'll tell you in a little bit. But yeah, the Jets are at 5-2. They won 4 in a row. Not a great win, but their defense stepped up when it mattered. The Broncos were just absolutely god-awful. They've lost 4 in a row. Zach Wilson, 16 of 26, 121. He made some god-awful decisions, but I mean, didn't result in the interception. He's got to step up, though, because Brees Hall tore his ACL. Yeah, he had a really long touchdown, but yeah, he tore his ACL. He's out for the rest of the season. Of course, I thought Michael Carter coming into the year was definitely a better back, but of course, with Brees Hall being that elusive power back who can get a lot of touches, those guys are usually the ones who, I'm sorry to say this, those guys are usually the ones who tend to tear their ACLs. I'm just saying, it's just the trend that's happened. Dameon Pierce is my next guy. I hope it never happens to him, but if that was going to happen to someone, it would be him. Braxton Berrios, 2 really nice carries. Michael Carter, I don't really think it was I don't think he was decisive enough. He hit the holes. It was just, reading the blocks wasn't great, but he just didn't look good. Michael Carter, 2 for 45, though he was much better in the receiving game. He's probably definitely their better receiver. But yeah. Receiving-wise, no one really did a lot. That's all I got there. Defensively, there, again, elite. Sauce Gardner, 9 tackles and assists. I think that could have been PI in that breakup with Cortland Sutton, but he got it done. DJ Reed, 7 tackles, I don't know what it's called, an assist. They didn't actually, yeah, they got like 1 sack, but they got a lot of pressure. LaMarcus Joyner had an interception. Absolutely got off with throw from Brett Rippon, but defensively, they really just played pretty well. I mean, tight gaps, didn't give up a lot. Broncos, obviously, Brett Rippon threw the ball a lot because he ripped passes. They couldn't run the ball for their life. 24-46, 225, an interception for him. Receiving-wise, Jerry Jeudy had a really good game, but other than that, no one did crap. Alex Singleton, 4 tackles and 7 assists. He did a lot of helping out. Demarius Mathis actually looked good. I mean, Draymond Jones had 2 sacks. He was doing his job. Mike Purcell, yeah, half a sack. Didn't get to watch much of him. Nick Benito, like I said, his first half sack of his career. I really don't know there. Jonathan Cooper and Kareem Jackson got the job done. I think Justin Simmons was pretty good. Patrick Surtain could have definitely been better in pursuit, though. That's all I got for this one. Obviously, we're going to, Greg, what's it called? Brandon McManus missed a kick, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. Yards, actually, Broncos outgained them. They definitely outgained passing yards, but Jets were just the more physical team, and obviously they didn't have a turnover as well. Pretty even game overall. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades. For this Jets offense, run the ball like last week somewhat, but Zach Wilson needs to be more consistent on the intermediate middle zone throws. He didn't make a lot. Yeah, those actually were a lot of his targets were. Offensively, I'll give them a underscore. They played pretty well. No turnovers, yeah, but they got to be better next week. I'll tell you that. Who the heck are they playing? Patriots next week? I think they're at home. Yeah, Patriots and Jets on CBS. I think that's probably going to be the national game. But yeah, that's actually a big game. And obviously, Jets defense, same exact pressure passes last week, but shell percent at 80% of 5 yards down. Defensively, they kind of totaled them. I'll give them 3 pluses. They played really well. Other than that first drive, let's get to the Broncos. For Denver, run the ball for over 150 yards. Nope. 5 was big plays, 40+ yards. They actually were able to have a couple big plays. And the tackles need to be able to sustain pass block for a long 2 seconds. No, not really, because Brett Rippon just stepped up. He has good pocket awareness. Offensively, I got to admit they weren't absolutely terrible, but I got to minus because, again, they just were bad. Broncos defense used Justin Simmons in 1 high and dare the Jets to throw the ball to the boundary with the corners, showing inside leverage and linebackers showing blitz or shallow zones. They didn't really manipulate them a lot, but they just flat out played good defense. Really just good, like I said, tight defense. They played well there. But again, that big run really killed them. I gotta give them minus. Actually give them an underscore because they actually held. But I mean, like the Jets' passing offense isn't anything special. And their run game, like again, it was that touchdown. Other than that, actually played pretty well. I'll give them. I gotta give them an underscore. Actually give them a plus. Let's get to the next game. Texans and Raiders. Oh God, this game got away from the Texans.
We are in beautiful Allegiant Stadium this afternoon for today's on its way, straight as an arrow. And just like that, the Raiders take a 3-0. Lobbing the pass. It is complete on the sideline. And that kick is on its way, and it is going to stay wide right. Mills, under pressure, got rid of it. The pass is complete to the 5. Touchdown, Chris Moore. Throwing on the run, and that is caught. That's Hunter Renfrow. Missed from 39 yards earlier. He's hit from 51 this year. This is a 50-yarder, and this one looks much better. And it's good. Welcome back on the snap of the ball on 2nd and 7. Carr with time, going for the end zone. It is caught. 3rd and 3. Mills got rid of it. Hits his man. Down the sideline, Jordan Akins. And Akins, huge gain. Fairbairn from 35 yards out. way, and it is good. Goal from the 4. Jacobs, left side, looking for the end zone, reaching. Did he get there? Mills, looking, throwing, touchdown! Jacob, right up the middle, to the end zone for the touchdown. Jacobs up the middle, to the 5, to the end zone, touchdown Raiders.
For play here, they've got to be able to get it down the field.
Mills throwing, intercepted, picked off in the middle of the field by Duron Harmon. Harmon up the sideline. Harmon is going to take it all the way to the.
Oh yeah, Raiders at 2-4 now, 38-21 over the Texans. They're just bad, 1-4-1 now. Davis Mills 20-41, 302, 2 touchdowns, interception. Other than that interception on he literally just threw it right to the looking at the receiver, threw it it was really bad. Yeah, Davis Mills pick 6, but yeah, he actually wasn't that bad other than that. Dean Pierce, pretty solid game on the ground. Jordan Akers was a good receiver. They spread the ball a lot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys got targeted. They got the ball a lot. Philip Dorsett and Chris Moore both had a touchdown though. Philip Dorsett's touchdown, he actually dropped him, but he recovered. Jonathan Owens literally played like a box guy because again, he got Cameron Kruger-Hill could not contain a gap for his life, and they couldn't really tackle as well. Rasheed Green not a sack though. They were god awful defensively. I mean, Raiders, it was literally just Josh Jacobs, 20 for 143, 3 touchdowns. Derek Carr really efficient, 21 of 27, 241 on the touchdown. Devontae Adams for 95. Hunter Renfrow 355. Matt Collins had a nice touchdown. He has 4 touchdowns this season, right? I think he does. No, yeah, he has 2. My bad. Yeah, he's a good number 3. And obviously, when it comes to defensively, they got it done, but obviously, it could have been better. Duron Harmon had pick 6. I didn't really get to watch much other than that, though, because obviously, I was really just focusing in on Davis Mills. They were giving him a couple of looks. I mean, Blake Martinez played pretty well. That's all I really have for this one. I was going to look at the stats. High scoring, obviously, so they got a lot of yardage. But I just think it was that pick 6 that was really the defensive moment in this game. Obviously, the Texans defense couldn't stop the run for the life. They haven't been able to in 3 years. Let's get right to the keys of the game grades. And for this Texans offense, similar run game as Week 5 at Jaguars, yeah, it wasn't as dominant, I'll say. But this time you're gonna have to run the ball through the A gaps, yeah, and as well having Davis Mills throw from a congested pocket. He did a lot of that. Actually wasn't super bad. I actually have to give him a minus because again, you cannot throw that pick 6. That was the game. Texans defense, Derek Staley can't be on an island with Devontae, especially on 3rd and short. He actually played pretty well. And tackle Josh Jacobs low and have the defensive lineman play straight up to reduce the risk of being out-leveraged. They got out-leveraged incredibly easily. And obviously Josh Jacobs played amazing. So, 5 minuses for I'll give them 3 minuses. But they were not great. Honestly, they didn't give them any big plays in terms of passing. So that was the only really good thing from that. Let's get to the Raiders. And for Vegas, yeah, same approach as against Kansas City, but Derek Carr needs to throw the ball for 300 yards for total touchdowns. I think Josh Jacobs tells the whole story. I'll give them 3 pluses because again, the Texans defense isn't great. Raiders defense actually played to the situation. Yeah, they got it done. I'll give them 3 pluses. This defense is not that great. They're just not. But they got a pick 6, and they really, I think they excelled in a lot of the places. Obviously, they gave some yards and some points, but I think they played, I'll give 3 pluses. I think they played really well. Definitely their best game of the season. Let's get to the next one. Oh, God, Chargers, you were just so bad in this one.
The Los Angeles Chargers, alongside my partner, Mark.
All the dogs, he said, oh, no, he's a pit bull.
Into traffic, deflected and intercepted. For the carry, and Eckler, 2nd effort, 3rd effort, 4th effort. Not going to get there. Looking for Goodwin in the end zone. A little toe tap in the corner for the touchdown. Herbert over the middle. It's intercepted. Ryan Neal with the pick. And behind him, Walker finding a crease into the end zone. It's a touchdown. And rush. Herbert has the ball ripped out of his hands in a strip. Taken away by Darrell Taylor. And
Behind it, trying to take a shot over the top.
Jason Myers from 46 is good. Eckler with an opening on the left side. Eckler lunging over for the touchdown. Certainly has been. This is D. Eskridge in the backfield. He fumbles and it's recovered by Khalil Mack. Herbert, Williams at the 10, at the 5, in the end zone. Touchdown, Mike Williams. Smith looking for Goodwin and a jump ball caught by Goodwin. 34-yard try, up and good for Jason Myers to exceed.
It's like that sign on someone's backyard. Beware of dog. Here comes Kenneth Walker.
And Walker, does he get out of the end zone? No, it's a safety. To the sideline, and it's intercepted. Asante Samuel just gets the snap off. Jason Myers good on the field. There's individual. There's Walker on first down. Gets the edge. Walker down the sideline. He's got the speed. Walker chugging down the sideline. Can he outrace Michael Davis? He can. Once more. Herbert. Sidearm sling, and it's a touchdown.
Geno Smith was good. 20 of 27, 210, 2 touchdowns, interception. I think the interception was on the opening drive. They put up 37 points on the Chargers. 37-23 win for them. Yeah, they're not 4-3. They lead the NFC West. I pray to the Lord that Daniel Jones is able to beat them next week. And the Rams, I don't even know. Yeah, but yeah, Chargers not 4-3. They're not that. They haven't looked that dominant this year. I'll put it that way. Running the ball. I mean, they ran the ball at will. Kenneth Walker's an absolute beast. Marquise Goodwin 4 for 67, 2 touchdowns. He was surgical in the red zone. Other than that, I mean. DK Metcalf, I think, got hurt, and yeah, Tyler Lockett 7 for 45. Defensively, Jordan Brooks was really good. 7 tackles. Obviously, Ryan Neal could have been better, but he did have an interception. Tyreek Woolen actually looked good, like in coverage. Good for him. Al Woods, Quentin Jefferson, and Darrell Taylor all at sacks. Darrell Taylor was an absolute menace at the edge. Uchenna Nwosu absolutely murdered Justin Herbert on one play. Defensively, they were good. Chargers, Justin Herbert threw for 293, 2 touchdowns, interception, 33 of 51. They can't run the ball efficiently, but Austin Eckler still gets me fantasy points. He was the leading receiver, and Mike Williams, I mean, he can't get downfield because, again, Keenan Allen is just not great right now. But both Mike Williams and Austin Eckler had touchdowns. Gerald Everett, yeah, he had a couple that looked really good, but again, just bad drops sometimes. Nasir Adderley and Derwin James Jr. were not it today. But yeah, a lot of these were coverage tackles. Drew Tranquill and Kenneth Murray both played well, though. Austin Johnson was really dominant up the middle. J.C. Jackson is just an absolute bum. I think he got hurt, though. Yeah, dislocated knee. He's probably out for the season. He's been god-awful this year. I hope he can recover well, though. For the statistics, I don't like these numbers, but yeah, the Seahawks had 400 yards. They were a lot better on third down than I expected them to be, because considering, like, just the sheer just talent of the Chargers secondary, that didn't really work out well. Again, coverage tackles for Nasir Adderley. A lot of those, he just did not get shallow enough. Other than that, I mean, yeah, 5 punts for the Chargers, 1 punt for the Seahawks. They had a lot more possession time. That's really the difference in this one. Obviously, the Chargers had a safety as well. Didn't take advantage of that. That was really different. So, Chargers offense could not take advantage of crap. Let's get right to the keys to the game. And for Seattle's offense, 30-plus points, 20-plus plays, and 10-plus yards. I don't know if they got that many, but dang, they were really good offensively. I'll give them 3 pluses. Not 5, 7, or 10, because again, Geno Smith, yeah, he was really efficient, but he's been efficient every game. He wasn't exactly phenomenal, and that safety really worried me. Seahawks defense, though, absolutely no crossing routes, getting behind the linebackers and 5 team linemen in the red zone. Yeah. Defensively, I think they actually give them 5 pluses. They played really well. Yeah, 3 touchdowns against, but they really just limited any sort of stuff that they were giving that Chargers fits. And when you can do that, you say you have a really good defensive game. They're not the most talented, that's why they get 3 touchdowns, but I think they played really well from what I expected. Let's get to the Chargers. And for these guys, over 5 yards per carry, not even close. Mike Williams needs more short yardage targets, yeah, and open up the middle and deep parts of the field. And Justin needs to be more decisive in the red zone. Wasn't decisive whatsoever. They couldn't move the football a lot. I got to give him a minus. Yeah, I'll give them minus. Yeah, because honestly, they actually weren't super bad. They actually were moving the football. Like, they kind of took what they gave them. Like, meh. They were like that. They were definitely frustrated. They couldn't take advantage of anything this defense gave them. Cover DK and Tyler Lockett when they're showing a power release and under 20 points left. They got absolutely torched. They did make some big plays, though. That's why I'm only giving them a minus. But they can't give up 168 rushing yards every game and expect to win. Now let's get to America's Game of the Weekend. Bang! Let's go, Chiefs.
Day and a great matchup for you. The Kansas City Chiefs here to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Mahomes with time, fires. Oh, it's intercepted. It was bounced. Looking, pressure, throwing end zone. McLeod came back and caught it for a block. Gets it. McCole Hardman is in. Touchdown, Kansas City.
To do in the huddle.
Why not? Here he's going to hand it to him. Stutter step. McCaffrey gets through. First down.
Anywhere on the defensive line, it's hard to account for him.
Gold from 50 now. Kick is up. Kick looks good. Kick is good.
Kelsey-type routes.
First down. 10th play of the drive. Hardman gets it on the sweep. Oh, Hardman's still going. Inside the 10. And he is in. End over end kick. It's bobbled and it's loose.
I think the Niners got it. Womack.
Never catch a ball below your waist.
Garoppolo in trouble, throws it up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Joshua Williams. Mahomes has a lot of time. Going deep. Valdez-Scantling has it down to the 30. And it's no good. He hit a fade. Through. Big hole. Edwards-Helaire is in for the touchdown. Is perfect. Right down the middle. Makes it a 5-point game. 4-man rush. Set up a screen. McKinnon has some room to roll. McKinnon still going. Jerick McKinnon first down inside the 10. Mahomes fires. It's caught for the touchdown. Size 3rd and 10. Garoppolo going end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Kittle. Mahomes going deep. Has a man. Valdez-Scantling makes the catch. Inside the 30. Hardman again, and he's into the end zone. His 3rd of the day. 3rd and 9. Garoppolo in trouble. Pressure coming. He is sacked for the safety. Blitz coming. Picked up. Mahomes wide open. It's Juju Smith-Schuster. One man to beat. Trying to get to the end zone. He will.
It's allowed. Points allowed. Touchdowns allowed.
Purdy going end zone, and it's intercepted. And it's up and good.
And in this one, the Chiefs showed up 44-23 win. They scored a lot of points in the second half. That was the difference. 44-23. They torched the 49ers. They're now 5-2. Big bounce-back game. 49ers fell to 3-4. They lost their second straight game. Mahomes, other than that interception the first drive, was perfect. 25-34 to 23, 2 touchdowns again, that interception. Running the ball, they did what they needed to. They had 3 total touchdowns. Great in the red zone. Juju, great game. He had, of course, that touchdown. MVS had that bomb catch. Travis Kelce had a big game. Hardman also had 3 total touchdowns. Justin Washington also had a touchdown through the air as well. Juan Thornhill was awesome. Had an interception. I mean, where does he see? Joshua Williams, best game of his career. Frank Clark was actually good. He torched Trent Williams, probably his worst game in a while. Chris Jones had 2 sacks. I mean, they were really good defensively. They had, like, what was it called? 2, 4? Or wait, what? Well, let's see. 2, 4. Yeah, they had 5 sacks. They were good defensively. Even though, what's it called? Sky Moore went up the punt, and Harrison Butker bricked the field goal. 49ers, Jimmy G threw the ball too much. They didn't run the ball enough either, but that's because they got absolutely torched defensively. 25-37, 3 touchdowns, interception. Brock Purdy came in because they were getting blown out. Receiving-wise, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk pretty good. I think Deebo Samuel had a pretty meh game, but again, CMC had 10 touches if you wanted to know there. Defensively, they all sucked. That's all I got to say. They were absolutely terrible other than that first time. Tuano Funga, I mean, he was hurt the whole game. I think he was concussed. He's not all right. Nick Bosa, yeah, he had a sack. Got dominated the rest of the game, though. Their offense, they couldn't get pressure for their life. And they can't do that. We realized their secondary really isn't that great. Chiefs had 529 yards again. They just absolutely torched them. They were just really good. That's really all you need to know. Let's get right to the keys to the game grades. For this Chiefs offense, watching Bosa on the inside moves that Patrick won't be only be aware, but also so he could break, contain, and dance around and do his magic outside the pocket. Yeah, offensively, I'll give him 5 pluses. The reason I'm not giving him 7 or 10 is because they didn't score 50 points. That's one reason. And number 2, I mean, they're the Chiefs. Like, it's hard to get 10 pluses. I mean, like, it's just not. They played really well though. Chiefs defense. Cover the pitch play that the 49ers go to. That's the 49ers go to on 1st and 10. And don't be surprised if Deebo gets 10 plus carries. They weren't able to do that. They actually did what they were supposed to do. I'll give them 3 pluses. No reason for 5, 10, 7, or 10 is because they didn't really have to do a lot other than that. But they really just asked for like a hole for you. But your offense got to score a lot of points. They did what they needed to. Let's get to the 49ers. And for this 49ers offense, run the ball efficiently. Yeah, they did. They just didn't do enough. For any of you has to continue to build off the big game from last week. Offensively, I don't really know what to say. They kind of just couldn't keep up. I got them minus. They didn't do well. Defensively, they were absolutely god-awful. I think that was their pursuit was so bad. 7 minuses for them. That's their worst defensive performance. And for a defense that I expected a lot better, they got to bounce back next week against the Rams. They should be able to, but they were absolutely horrid against the Chiefs. See what they can do next week, but 49ers defense, you're getting the second worst possible grade you can. They were so bad. Let's get to Sunday Night Football, which was a pretty entertaining game.
We welcome you to Miami. Temperature in the upper 70s on this Sunday night.
And 15 miles north of Miami, it is Hard Rock Stadium. 3 for the first down, 8 for the touchdown. Tua stepping up, getting it to Mostert in space in the end zone. 4 for the first down, 6 for the touchdown. Tagovailoa throws, it's a big hit on Mostert by Morstead holding, so 2 drives and 2 scores for seeking their first down of the night. And Pickett goes for one of those matchups, and it's an interception. Chase Claypool got tied up with Justin Bethel. Attempt from Sanders, who's been perfect inside of 50 this year. From 41. He continues that. So Boswell's been terrific with the 50-plus kicks. He's hit 5 of those this year. This one from 45 puts Pittsburgh on the board. On second down, Pickett fires and a man open. On cue, the rookie George Pickett. And Pickett end zone shot. And Pickett's caught it. Inbounds, yes. Touchdown. Good from 24 and 42 tonight. And we'll knock it through and get 3. 14. Edmonds inside, and he is stopped. Spring 4. Pickett in the middle, he's intercepted. Trying to force it in. And the safe escape, thought about running as the firing stands at the sideline. Igbenogany didn't come down with the second foot. Holland says
And on Sunday Night Football, the Dolphins defeat the Steelers 16-10. Yeah, they didn't score any points in the second half, but yeah. They're not 4-3. They snap a 3-game losing streak. Steelers lose. I mean, kind of expected that there. Kenny Pickett, 2 bad interceptions in the last 2 drives. Had an interception as well there, but other than that, he was pretty good. 32-44, 257 touchdown. They just don't run the ball well. I just don't know what it is here. Like, the statistics aren't great, but it didn't look that bad. Receiving-wise, Pat Freiermuth was their leading receiver. Deontay Johnson and George Pickens both looked good. Of course, George Pickens had that highlight reel touchdown. Not the best play of the week, but again, really good. Receiving-wise, actually, I like their passing game. The Kenny Pickett interceptions were just bad, rookie mistakes. Defensively, they actually held their ground. I mean, they should have had like 5 interceptions, but other than that, they were pretty good. I mean, Miles Jack, 8 tackles. Devin Bush, 5 tackles. Minka and Cameron Hayward both had 4 tackles. They didn't get a sack. That's my only issue. They did get pressure, though. For the Dolphins, Tua did not look great. 21-35, 261 touchdown. Probably should have, again, 5 interceptions, but he got it done. Running the ball, they did it well. I mean, yeah, I guess Chase Edmonds wasn't good, but again, it's just because he runs all the runs in shotgun. Just doesn't work out that well. Receiving-wise, Jalen Waddle was just a big play guy. Tyreek Hill, pretty productive game. Raheem Mostert, 4 for 16, 4 for 30, and a nice touch on the first drive of the game. Justin Bethel, of course, had the interception. Javon Holland and Noah Igbenogany both had interceptions as well. Jalen Phillips was definitely best game of his season. He had 1.5 sacks. Christian Wilkins, probably his best game of the season as well, had half a sack. Defensively, they got it done. Of course, when we look at the stats, team stats, really, again, even. Obviously, the Dolphins just didn't have 3 turnovers. That was probably the difference in this one. And obviously, low scoring type of game. That's what I got there. Let's go right to the keys. Well, now it's time for the keys to the game grade. And looking at the Steelers Dolphins, run the ball for over 125 yards. Didn't think they get that play action at the boundary. Yeah, they basically all they did. I looked at the defense passing game, but again, the turnovers, 3 minuses. Like, should have won this game anyway, but the turnovers. Steelers defense, same thing as last week. Yeah, it didn't work out super well, but I actually think defensively, they actually worked out well. I gotta just give them a plus because they covered really well, but again, there was just so many missed out opportunities. I like giving them an underscore minus because again, they play good defense, but just fix that. They probably win this game by a touchdown or 2. Let's get to the Dolphins. And for Miami, yeah, big plays. They got big plays once in a while. Liam Eichenberg, yeah, he was the lead blocker. I actually like the running game, but again, Tua was not great. I have to give him an underscore. If he didn't have that many bad throws, probably wouldn't have given an underscore. They got shit out in the second half, though. That's just not great. Defensively, I'm obviously giving them like 5 pluses. Yeah, I get it was against the Steelers offense, but forcing those 2 interceptions in the last drive were huge, and they shut out the Steelers in the second half. They held them really well. The defense was the reason they won this game. Obviously, offensively, they could have been worse, but that's what I got for the Dolphins. So let's get right to the wrap-up. And that'll just about do it for this Week 7 NFL Sunday recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, let's watch pretty cool play.
Tied for the longest in ACC history. Trying to come from behind, and Shipley is fumbled. They turn it over for the 3rd time.